Hey folks, great news on the Transanity front. You see, alas and alack, it would appear that the rugby season for the Fergus Highlanders so-called women's team has come to a premature ending. By the way, I say so-called women's team because not all of the women on the squad are actually females. Indeed, these cheaters literally have a bioweapon on the roster in the form of a biological male, Ash Davis. He tends to injure biological women out on the field. Maybe he has a fetish, maybe he is a misogynist, who knows? But he has the means to do so, injure women that is. After all, Ash was voted the hardest hitter on the Fergus men's rugby team just last year. Here's a photo of him accepting his award, clad in a blue dress and brandishing a cricket bat for some reason. Oh, what a weirdo. However, Ash's teammates think having a man on the squad is a jolly good example of diversity, even though this goes against the rules of World Rugby, the sport's international governing body. Here, check out this slice of Transanity. Hey, Mr. Davis, Ash, why are you doing this? I'm David Menzies, Rebel News.
Hi. No, you're not really a part of this. We're having a team chat now.
Okay, so I'm just trying to ask some questions, ma'am.
But this is not the appropriate time for
that. Why are you allowing a biological male to compete against female players?
I'm not going to have a conversation with you.
Well, I'll talk to Ash then. Ash, do you take joy in injuring female rugby players? Are you lacking the skills to play with male players where you should be? You're a biological male, aren't you?
I got you. Right
here. Thank you, sir. No
Mr. Ash, are you a misogynist?
Yeah. Thank you. Coming with me?
Please,
Hey, watch it. You'll be charged with assault.
Get a child. Would you mind leaving?
Mr. Ash, the governing body for rugby, World Rugby, says men should not compete.
Trans lives matter.
Wow, really?
All
lives matter. All lives matter. All lives matter.
So,
human rights matter.
You don't have a problem.
You can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
This is a human rights issue.
Oh, okay then.
We live in Canada. All rights, human rights for everybody. Trans matter.
What about the
trans rights matter?
That you are traumatizing my family.
I'm traumatizing them. Why? What happened?
Because my kids get to see people like you crying because of things.
I'm surprised. As a mother, why would you expose your kids to a
Because
massage?
that is my partner. That is my wife that you are being.
So he's a lesbian? Unbelievable. But fear not, folks, because as I said, I have good news to report when it comes to the biosphere of the bizarre, given that common sense has finally, at long last, taken lease. You see, this Saturday, the Fergus Highlanders were to take on the Niagara Wasps in the consolation women's final. Yeah, the consolation final. Apparently, the Highlanders don't have enough men on their roster to make it to the actual real final. Poor babies. But hey, as they say in Leafland, there's always next year. But get this, the game will not be going ahead as scheduled. The reason for the cancellation? Well, take a bow, Mr. Ash Davis, you gender-bending grifter. You see, a source just reached out to me noting that the head honcho of the Niagara Rugby Union, Chris Hodgson, has indeed pulled the plug on the game. My source says he had a conversation with Mr. Hodgson, who allegedly said the following, quote, "I don't think any reasonable adult would think that females playing against a male would be a good idea. It's not a matter of inclusivity, but rather a matter of player safety and well-being, not to mention sportsmanship," end quote. Now, I have reached out to Mr. Hodgson for a one-on-one interview because we need more Chris Hodgsons, for he is a brave man taking the right position. He will no doubt be branded a transphobe by the hysterical women who play on the Fergus side, but he is the voice of reason here, and he is adhering to the rules of World Rugby. And what a stunning contrast indeed to that bully that is Josh Windsor. He's the president of the Waterloo County Rugby Club. Check out his warning, yes, warning, that Windsor sent out to the female members of the Waterloo Rugby team just prior to their game against Fergus on July 29th. Quote, "Any act or behavior that is deemed to be discriminatory and in contravention to these laws and policies may result in immediate expulsion from the Waterloo County Rugby Club. Any act or behavior that is deemed to be motivated by hate will be reported to the police," end quote. Can you believe it? This misogynist was going to call Waterloo Regional Police if Ash were to suffer from hurt feelings? What a creep. But enough about this woke loser, Josh Windsor, because thankfully rugby season is over for the Fergus woman and that Looney Tune male lesbian on the roster. Good riddance, you despicable cheaters. Well, folks, I think the Ash Davis story is the most shocking, the most underreported, the most overlooked sports story in Canada right now, with very few exceptions. The mainstream media, well, they're simply not interested, or they actually condone what's going on. Can you believe it? That's why I know you love Rebel News, to bring you the other side of the story, but we need your help. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you can, kindly make a donation so we can continue to bring you the kind of journalism you so adore us for.